Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting into something really iconic, a show that honestly shaped a generation. Sailor Moon.
Absolutely. And we're going way beyond just the sparkly transformation sequences.
Right. We want to understand how this series built this huge epic saga. It pulls from ancient myths, cosmic cycles, and surprisingly deep psychological stuff, inherited trauma even.
That's the plan. We've looked at a ton of analysis, and the consensus is this wasn't just a kid's show, it was building a whole universe, a blueprint.
And it totally changed the game for the magical girl genre, didn't it? Asking these big questions about fate and who you are.
Fundamentally. And it all really hinges on one core idea, not just magic, but destiny. A really tragic, cyclical destiny.
Based on reincarnation, yeah. This idea that everyone's sort of doomed to repeat the past.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's start there with the original tragedy.
Okay, so take us back. Where does this all begin?
It starts way, way back in the Silver Millennium. Think of this, like advanced, peaceful utopia on the moon, a matriarchy led by Queen Serenity.
Well, Moon Kingdom. Cool. But were they just there? Or did they have a purpose?
Oh, they had a huge job. Their mandate was basically cosmic guardianship. They watched over Earth's evolution, protecting it.
Protecting it from what?
From, well, negative forces. They used the legendary silver crystal, the Maboroshi no Ginsushu's immense power. They were like guardians of the whole solar system.
Got it. So peaceful utopia, cosmic guardians. Sounds pretty good. What went wrong?
Well, the classic story element, forbidden love, between Princess Serenity, the moon heir, and Prince Endymion from Earth's Golden Kingdom. Their love crossed this line, this sort of unspoken law separating moon people and earth people.
Okay, so that created a vulnerability, and something exploited it.
Ruthlessly. The primary villain wasn't just some person, it was this vast, ancient evil, Queen Metalia.
Metalia, where'd she come from?
The sources describe her as this amorphous entity born from weird sunspot activity, essentially cosmic chaos energy.
Okay, cosmic chaos. And she takes advantage of the situation on Earth.
Exactly. She taps into resentment on Earth, specifically the jealousy of a sorceress named Beryl.
Right, Beryl. She was in love with Endymion, wasn't she? Unrequited love.
Yeah, and Metalia corrupts her. Then Beryl brainwashes Endymion's own generals, his most trusted guys.
The four kings of heaven. The shit turns them against him. And this betrayal leads to this huge catastrophic war. Total annihilation.
So the climax, everyone dies.
Pretty much. Endymion dies protecting Serenity. She, in her grief, takes her own life. It's heavy stuff.
Wow.
And Queen Serenity, as her last act, uses the silver crystal. First, to seal Metalia away. But the second part, that's the key.
The reincarnation stuff.
Exactly. She casts this massive spell.
So was that good? Like giving them a second chance, or was it condemning them, deferring the fight?
Most analysis frames it as a burden. Definitely a burden.
Right.
Because the spell sends their souls. The princess, the prince, all the guardians, even the cats, Luna and Artemis.
Right, the cat. Yeah, sends them far into the future to be reborn on a peaceful Earth, but, and this is crucial, stripped of their memories.
No memory of the trauma, but doomed to repeat it.
That's the implication. Death isn't the end, it's just a transition. But destiny? That's inescapable. They're trapped.
It sounds a lot like samsara, the Buddhist idea. Endless cycle of suffering and rebirth.
That parallel is drawn constantly. Their duty is their suffering, their inherited trauma. Becoming a hero isn't glorious, it's painful because deep down they sense this fight never, ever ends.
They're just fated to keep fighting the same battles, losing their chance at a normal life.
Precisely. Which brings us to Usagi Tsukino, our main character in the present day.
Yeah, she doesn't exactly jump at the chance to be Sailor Moon, does she?
Not at all. She cries, she runs away, she messes up, she actively tries to avoid her destiny because she doesn't want this inherited pain.
I remember her big wish after seeing her friends die again was just for everyone to be normal. No powers, no memories.
Right. That tells you everything about the cost of this destiny. It's a crushing weight.
Okay, so this destiny, this cycle of trauma, it's baked into the very fabric of the story. How did the creator, Naoko Takeuchi, build this into the characters themselves? Let's talk about the cosmic blueprint, how they're literally written in the stars.
Yeah, the world building is incredibly layered. It's not random. Let's start with the central romance, Serenity and Endymion.
That's based on something specific, right?
Directly. It's an adaptation of the Greek myth of Selene and Endymion. Selene, the moon goddess, falls for a mortal shepherd, Endymion.
And how does that end?
Tragedy, basically.
Wow.
Eternal separation or sleep, depending on the version. Their love is doomed from the start, just like in Sailor Moon.
Okay, so Greek myth for the core romance, but Usagi herself, her name is Japanese.
Deeply Japanese.
Right.
Usagi Tsukino is a pun. Tsukino Usagi, it means rabbit of the moon.
The rabbit pounding mochi on the moon. I know that already.
Exactly. And that connects to an old folk tale about ultimate self-sacrifice, where the rabbit literally offers itself as food.
Wow. So that's foreshadowing Usagi's own compassion and sacrifice way down the line. That's pretty sophisticated for what people thought was just a kid's show.
Totally. And then you get into the powers of the other sailor senshi, the inner guardians. This is where it gets really cool.
How so?
It's a 3-layered system. It weaves together Greco-Roman mythology, Western astrology, and Japanese elemental beliefs.
Okay, break that down. How does that work? Like Sailor Mercury, she uses water and ice powers. But Mercury, the Roman god, is about speed and messages, right? That always seemed weird to me.
Right. It seems contradictory if you only look at the Roman names. The key is the Japanese name for the planet.
Oh, okay.
The Japanese planet names are often based on the 5 elements, the gugyu.
So Mercury in Japanese is?
Suize, which literally translates to water star.
Water star. Okay, that makes perfect sense then. Water and ice powers.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Yeah, it unlocks everything, and the system holds for the others.
So Mars.
Sailor Mars. The planet is Kasi, fire star.
Okay, obvious. Jupiter, she has lightning, but also wood, plants.
Exactly, Sailor Jupiter. The planet is Mokusei, wood star. So you get the lightning associated with the Roman god Jupiter, but also her secondary plant and oak tree powers from the wood element.
Brilliant. And Venus, she uses that chain.
Sailor Venus. Kinsei, metal star or gold star, hence her love me chain attack being metallic.
So it's all interwoven. Their powers, their origins, even their personalities seem linked, right? Like Ami Mizuno's Sailor Mercury, she's a Virgo in astrology.
Right, associated with being meticulous, analytical, studious, fits her role as the team's brain perfectly.
So it's not arbitrary at all. Their fates, their abilities, it's all part of this coherent, multi-layered cosmic design. Predetermined.
Yeah, their identities are incredibly thought out, but the show's impact wasn't just this internal complexity, it was how it completely shook up media genres.
By smashing two together, right? Things that didn't seem to mix before.
Exactly. It took the magical girl genre, the Mashujo tradition.
Which was usually more lighthearted, focused on slice of life stuff, maybe finding a career.
Generally, yeah. Light magic, personal growth. But Takeuchi fused that with Super Sentai.
The live action shows that inspired Power Rangers over here. Lots of action, teams, monsters.
She was a huge fan. And she imported key elements directly. The combat focus, the 5-member color-coded team, the monster of the week structure, even the elaborate, repeated stock footage for transformations and attacks.
That fusion created basically a whole new subgenre, didn't it? The magical girl warrior.
It did. And the cultural impact was huge because it took this action genre, typically coded male, and infused it with themes usually seen as female-coded.
Like romance, friendship, deep emotional stuff.
Exactly. Emotional interiority and the absolute centrality of the female collective. Friendship isn't just nice, it's their power source.
That's so true. You see how characters like Ami, who was shy and isolated, or Makoto Jupiter, who was seen as this tough outcast, they find their community, their strength, when they become senshi. The show constantly says their combined strength is way more powerful than any one of them alone.
And think about what that does to the male lead, Tuxedo Mask.
Yeah, Mamoru. He's the main love interest, but he's often kind of sidelined in the fights, isn't he?
Often. He gets captured and needs rescuing. He's important for emotional support, but the power fantasy is centered entirely on the girls.
The message seems pretty clear. Girls don't need a guy to save them. They save each other.
Yeah.
And themselves.
Precisely. Their strength comes from their bonds, their collective power.
Okay, let's talk visuals too, because the look of the show is also this amazing blend. You have the mundane, everyday thing.
The Sarafuku, the sailor-style school uniform, instantly relatable to Japanese schoolgirls. Grounds them in reality.
But then you have the sublime, the transformation outfits, the princess gown. I read somewhere that Princess Serenity's dress, that iconic white one, it was basically lifted straight from a Christian Dior runway show. The Spring-Summer 1992 collection, the Palladio dress.
Absolutely. It's almost a direct copy. The high fashion references are deliberate and all over the place.
What else?
Villain outfits, other senshi designs. You see influences from Thierry Mugler's dramatic silhouettes, even Chanel. It's blending teenage life with this untouchable high glamour. It's aspirational.
Wow. So it's not just throwing sparkles on screen.
Yeah.
It's got real design thought behind it. And this leads back to the idea of power, right? Even the transformation phrase.
Makeup.
Yeah, it takes applying makeup, something traditionally seen as just for appearance, maybe even trivialized.
And reframes it as an act of power, of self-creation, self-actualization, not just beautification.
That's brilliant. It's empowering a traditionally feminine ritual.
Completely. And then look at Usagi's ultimate power. What's her greatest weapon?
Her empathy.
Yeah.
Her ability to cry, which literally brings out the silver crystal sometimes.
Exactly. Her tears manifest the ultimate power source. And her signature finishing move, moon healing escalation.
It's not about destroying the enemy. It's about purification, healing them.
Right. It fundamentally redefines what heroism can be. It replaces typical shonen-style aggression with compassion, emotional vulnerability, and healing. That's radical. #tag outro.
So wrapping this up, Sailor Moon is just so much more than meets the eye. It's this story about profound inherited destiny, this inescapable cycle.
Built on this really complex, interwoven cosmic structure mythology, astronomy, folklore.
And it found its revolutionary power by taking traditionally feminine strengths, love, friendship, empathy, even crying, and making those the keys to saving the world, turning them into an action epic.
And if we loop back to that idea of the cycle, the samsara, there's a fascinating bit of lore stating that the ultimate evil, chaos, the source of Metalia and everything else, it's also eternally reborn. It can't be permanently destroyed either.
So the fight literally never ends.
Pretty much. Which means the Senshi's ultimate goal isn't final victory. It can't be. It's about endurance. It's about constantly purifying the cycle of existence through love and compassion, again and again.
Wow. Endure and purify the cycle. That's a heavy ongoing mission, not just beat the bad guy.
Not at all.
Okay, so let's leave our listeners with a final thought then, a provocative one. We mentioned Usagi's deepest wish was just for a normal life, right? To escape the destiny, erase the memories. So if the ultimate power in this universe comes from accepting this never-ending cyclical struggle, what does that say about maybe the human condition itself? That maybe the greatest strength is finding meaning not in escaping the struggle, but in facing it with compassion.
Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. Go rewatch an episode with that in mind.